My name's Kenneth Cooke. I was in the 7th Battalion Green Howards, and my army number is 14693549. After I'd been wounded, I was sent back over to Brussels to join up with another regiment other than my own regiment. My own regiment was the 7th Battalion Green Howards. And they'd been at Nijmegen, and they took a bit of a battering at Nijmegen, and they were split up. And when I asked about going back to my own regiment, they said they'd been split up in Nijmegen, and therefore they was sent to other regiments that were short of men. And I finished up with the HLI. And with the HLI we joined up with the Canadians on the Rhine. Two or 3 days before, we were getting accustomed to our surroundings, and we heard this terrible noise, and this Messerschmitt came flying low over where we were. I think it'd be about 100 feet above us, and the same as you've heard of the Stuka bombers, they have a siren on the tailplane. And the same with the Messerschmitt. And this Messerschmitt came low with this siren screaming. It was a terrible sound. And behind him there was a Spitfire chasing him. And I don't know whether the Spitfire shot him down or not, but they came very low where we was. We watched them flying away, and we heard the Spitfire firing at him. I don't know whether he got him or not. On the early morning, they had quite a few artillery pieces along the banks of the Rhine, and about, I should say, 7 o'clock, 7:30, a barrage started, and there must have been at least 50 what they call 5.5s, artillery pieces firing over the Rhine. And after the barrage, we were detailed to get aboard these, like a type of canoe, but a bit bigger than canoe. There was maybe 10 or 12 troops in these canoes. And the canoes, some had a motor engine on the back, which propelled the canoe over the Rhine. And one or two more type of canoes they had to paddle across. But we were fortunate and we didn't have to paddle. We reached the other side of the Rhine. Just before we were going to settle down for the night, we saw a Dakota. The paratroops had gone first, just after the barrage, and we saw a Dakota on fire, and paratroops trying to jump out of the Dakota. We saw one chap, his parachute opened about 100 feet above the ground. He probably broke his leg or something like that because it was too low to land properly. But that scene comes to me now and again, but I try and put it to the back of my mind because it was a terrible sight to see. The poor lads that were in the Dakota never got out. Anyway, we that night, where the paratroops had landed in our section, they'd left the parachutes on the ground and carried on with the job they had to do. And we managed to collect one of these parachutes and we wrapped it round ourselves, two of us, and that's how we slept, with a parachute wrapped round us that night. And from then on we went further into Germany, and we got as far as Bremen, just outside Bremen. Chap I was with, he was wounded in his leg, and I managed to get him back to the first aid post, and while we were there, an officer came and asked what had happened in our battle with the Germans up on the hill, sort of thing, you know. And I told him what happened, and the next thing I knew, I was on a Brengun carrier, and I'd been sent out to the battle with shell shock, and I came home after that, and that was my D-Day's experience and war's experience.